Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you what to do when you have 12 hours in Singapore. It's going to be fun. Are you ready? Let's go. So I've actually been to Singapore many times, but this time around, I decided that I was going to give myself the ultimate layover challenge and see how much of Singapore I could actually fit in just 12 hours. Now, since I live in Doha, Qatar, my flight got in at 1 a.m. So first things first, I grabbed some cash out of the ATM, which is very convenient because they have a TMS everywhere in Singapore. And then I headed straight to my Airbnb. I stayed in a really cool place in the Bugis area. It was super cute and check-in was super smooth. But if you guys are looking for a hotel, I will link a couple of options below. So once I dropped off my bags, I headed straight out again to explore Singapore, and this time to grab some breakfast. I love eating at Yakun Kaya Toast. They have a few locations around the island, so it's pretty convenient. And it's definitely one of my favorite places to grab breakfast when I'm in Singapore. I got their signature Kaya Toast set, which comes with coffee and 2 slices of toast with a side of eggs. And it was so delicious. If you don't know, kaya is a coconut and egg-based spread, and it literally tastes like heaven. You can also get it sweet or with coffee. After breakfast, I headed over to one of my favorite places in Singapore, Gardens by the Bay. This place is absolutely stunning. I've been here several times at different parts of the day, but I've never been disappointed. What I love about Gardens by the Bay is there's something for everyone. There's plenty of space to walk around and just enjoy the scenery. And if you want to sit down and relax, there are plenty of benches to choose from. There's also a couple of cool attractions here, like the Super Tree Grove, which is this huge display of vertical gardens. And then there's the Cloud Forest and the Flower Dome, which both require an additional ticket to enter, but I think it's totally worth it. Alright, so by this time it was already getting pretty hot outside, so I decided to take a break from exploring and head to the mall. Now, malls in Singapore are like a second home to me, because I practically lived in them when I worked there. I mean, who wouldn't want to hang out in these malls? They have everything from amazing food to great shopping, and of course air conditioning. So after browsing a few stores and doing a little bit of shopping, I grabbed lunch at the mall. There are so many great places to eat here, but I decided to go with Shakes. This is a Singaporean fast food restaurant, and they have a bunch of local dishes to choose from. I got the chicken rice, which is one of my favorite Singaporean dishes, and it was so good. Now, after lunch, I headed over to one of my favorite places in Singapore, Little India. This is such a vibrant and colorful place, and it's definitely a must-visit if you're in Singapore. The streets are lined with shops and restaurants, and the atmosphere is just so lively. I love walking around and exploring all the different shops and checking out all the different spices and fabrics. There are also a bunch of temples here, and I highly recommend visiting the Sri Veeramakaliamman Temple. It's one of the oldest temples in Singapore, and it's a beautiful example of Hindu architecture. Now, before I knew it, it was already time for tea, which meant it was time for some bubble tea. I stopped by Gong Cha, which is one of my favorite bubble tea places in Singapore. They have a bunch of flavors to choose from, and you can also customize your tea to make it extra thick or extra cold. I got the signature milk tea with tapioca pearls, and it was so refreshing. And then after bubble tea, I headed over to one of the most popular attractions in Singapore, Marina Bay Sands. Now, I have actually been here several times before, but it's definitely a place that you have to visit when you're in Singapore. The views from the observation deck are absolutely stunning, and you can see the entire city skyline. I also love walking around the Marina Barrage because it's such a peaceful place, and you can also get some great views of the city. One of the best things about Marina Bay Sands is that it's also connected to a shopping mall and a metro station.
So it's really easy to get to.
By this time, it was already getting late. So I decided to grab dinner at one of my favorite places in Singapore, Maxwell Food Center. This is a really popular hawker center, and it's known for its delicious food and affordable prices. I got the chicken wing set, and it was so juicy and succulent. And then I also got some fried kuateo, which is a type of noodle dish. It was so chewy and flavorful. After dinner, I headed over to one of the most Instagram-worthy places in Singapore, the Art Science Museum. This museum is known for its unique architecture, and it's definitely a place that you have to visit if you're into art and science. The exhibits are always changing, but they're always really interactive and engaging. Spent a couple of hours here just exploring all the different exhibits and taking pictures. Now, I wanted to squeeze in one last activity before heading back to my Airbnb, and that was to walk around Orchard Road. This is one of the most famous streets in Singapore, and it's known for its high-end shopping and vibrant nightlife. I love walking around and exploring all the different shops and restaurants. And even though I didn't do any shopping, I still had fun window shopping. So after walking around Orchard Road for a bit, I headed back to my Airbnb to drop off my things, and then I went out again for one last adventure. I headed to Clarke Quay, which is one of the most popular nightlife districts in Singapore. There are a bunch of bars and clubs here, and it's definitely a place that you have to visit if you're looking to have a good time. I spent a couple of hours here just bar hopping and meeting new people. And then finally, after a long day of exploring, I headed back to my Airbnb to sleep. So those were my 12 hours in Singapore. I know it was a lot, but it was definitely worth it. I mean, how can you not fall in love with this city? From its delicious food to its vibrant culture, Singapore has something for everyone. I hope that you get the chance to visit soon. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing travel experiences. And check out the links in the description for cheap flights, hotels, cars, and more.